Said, whoa, that's too many
Testing,
lines.
testing. Whatever. We'll trust that it's recording.
Uh-oh.
We'll trust that we won't have technical difficulties. I think so far this season we've been good, so let's not jinx it. Let's just, let's
We did have one technical difficulty with me, but we were still able to get an episode out of it. So
What was that one?
the one that comes out today, the 4th episode, when my AirPod wasn't connecting.
Oh, true. Well, I mean,
Unless that was the 3rd episode. Now I can't really remember.
I feel like that's just AirPods in general, bro.
Bro, for real. But it was just the iPad. It's just because my iPad's old.
Speaking of headphones, I discovered something last night that I think is one of the coolest things I've discovered in a while. And this might be public knowledge to everybody except for me. I don't know. I really don't know. So I was watching a movie in my room, and like everybody had kind of gone to bed earlier than me. So I was like, man, I don't know why for some reason it just came to my head because I was like, I don't watch my movies too loud in my room anyways, but I was like, it'd be cool if I could like connect this to my headphones and watch through there so that way like because then like sometimes it gets louder if there's a soundtrack.
No,
so
for sure.
Bring the volume down or whatever. So I was like, man, let me like look this up. So I looked it up. Can you connect headphones to a TV? And I was like, yeah, if like your TV has it. And so I was like, oh shoot, because I also like I don't use these headphones like I use these for like calls and stuff, but I also have like over the ear headphones that are like a lot better. So I was able to connect them to the TV, and bro, it was insane. It was almost like I had surround sound, and like I could put it as loud as I want, and like nobody could hear anything, and it was awesome, bro. It was like the best experience.
Dude, I didn't know you could actually do that. Like, I've always thought of that, but I didn't know you could just...
I didn't even like, bro. I just thought I was like, man, I wonder if like this is a thing. I feel like it has to be if it's a smart TV. Like it would make sense. Like everything else, you can connect Bluetooth, and like I just want to know if this is like if everybody knows this, if I'm like if we're super late to the party, or what? Because this is like, I mean, obviously, it's only for like personal viewing experiences and stuff like that. But it's really nice, especially like when everybody, if you have roommates or whatever, if you live at home still and people are in bed and you don't want to be loud. This is like an amazing alternative. And it actually sounds really good. Like you can hear the dialogue, you can hear all the background music, like a lot of stuff that you might miss if you had your volume like really low. You could still hear the dialogue, and I even was able to take like subtitles off because I didn't need them. I was like, this is great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro. It was really, really cool. So I highly recommend if you didn't know that was a thing, or if you did know and you haven't tried it, it's great. I might even actually like, even if people like, if I'm just watching a movie alone, I might just use it from now on because it was just like, it literally almost sounded like I was in a theater, bro. Like it was really, really.
It was
cool.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, my headphones are pretty good. Now they do have a feature which I think you have to pay for. So like, I haven't done it yet, but I don't know. I need to look into it more. Where they have like a surround sound thing, like option. But like I said, I think it's some subscription thing. But I might try it out because I was like, that would probably enhance it more. But yeah, it's like it is. They're pretty solid headphones, so it did make for a really, really cool experience. So yeah, I was also watching. Have you ever seen the movie Adventureland?
No.
It's with Jesse Eisenberg. I think that's how you say his name. Kristen Stewart, Ryan Reynolds. Bro, it's a good movie. You should check it out. It's a really good like coming of age. It's set in the 80s, so it's always a mix for a good time. But it's really good. It's really fun. It's like got a carnival background because that's what they like work at this carnival during the summer. And it's a lot of fun. I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet, but it's a really, really good movie, bro. I recommend you watching it. It's funny. It's like lighthearted. It's entertaining. It's got a great cast, and it's just a really good early 2000s. Like I said, coming of age movie, and yeah, I was like, dang, man, I wish I would have seen this earlier because it's such a good film. But I had a really good experience with the headphones, so it was nice. It was cool.
You need to start like actually sending me them because you're always like, bro, you need to watch this movie. You need to watch this movie, and then whenever I turn on the TV, I'm like, what was the name? I don't even remember like name of like my relatives, let alone Let alone movies you told me 30,
Let alone
3
the
days ago.
75 movies you give me a week.
Yeah, for real. But the thing with
I'll
the headphones is I know Roku had, because they have the Roku TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I need to drink this coffee. But Roku used to have a remote control with an aux for your earbuds or headphones. So that's what always had given me the idea, but I never thought of Bluetooth. I always thought like, oh, I need the like something, because at first I was like, when AirPods first became like really big and like everyone had them, I was always like, you need to make an aux adapter that your headphones can connect to those. Because then technically you could plug it in anywhere as well.
Yeah.
Because I was mainly thinking for like music, because we have you know what in-ears are?
No.
So they're specific type of headphones, but when you're on a budget or you don't have them, you would like I wanted to use my AirPods because the noise cancellation,
Right.
but they connect to this box that's connected to the soundboard. So then you can pick what you're hearing, so you can hear yourself better. You can be like, oh, I want more of me and the guitar and the drums, or
Right.
less of this person, or more of that person, or whatever, right? So you can hear exactly what you want in your ears while you're performing, so you know what's going on. A lot of people have themselves, like the drums, so they stay on tempo, and then like a guitar or piano for like melody, right? Just to keep the key, right? But you gotta plug it into the box that's like usually it's a box you put in your back pocket or something like that. And I was like, if I had an adapter to connect it to the box, I could use my AirPods as in-ears.
Okay.
Right? So after that, I always just got stuck on that idea as opposed to like thinking of like, oh, my TV does have Bluetooth. You're right.
We are in the 21st century.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is. I really wonder if we're just like way behind, or if, like a lot of people don't know about this.
I think it's more of just like I don't think people think about it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's not really necessary.
Most people aren't deaf like us.
True.
So turning the volume down is basically turning it off for me.
Yeah.
And then like by the time I can hear the TV, so can everyone else.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, at the same time though, it's like I like hearing like the soundtrack. Like sometimes like if the music's really low behind the dialogue, like I feel like that always enhances the scene.
Oh, for sure.
And or like sometimes, bro, with a lot of movies nowadays, it's like sometimes people talk low, like, and I'm an actor too, so I understand it. Like sometimes you're just speaking a lot lower in a scene for, because it's more intimate or whatever. And a lot of the times, like, it's hard to just make out words. So I'm like, I think it's a really cool thing because then you can have it as loud as you want and you don't have to. I'm not digging my ear. I was getting this. My headphones are weird. Anyways, but you don't have to. You don't have to like struggle to hear them either. So it's really cool, and it also like helps you stay engaged more because it kind of just feels like it's right there. I don't know. It was just really cool, bro. I was like so hype. I was like, this is the coolest thing that I've discovered in a while, man. So I don't know what that says, but
Bro, it sounds like you just had like a overnight life-changing experience. That's what it sounds like.
I came in ready to share this experience with everybody, so I hope you get something out of this if you didn't know about this. If you did, comment down below and just call me dumb because that's cool. If I'm late to the train, I'm all right with that.
Call us dumb.
Yeah, that's still an acceptable term, right?
Yeah. You can call us, thy Catchin Up podcast.
All right, well, we'll give you some time to do that and we'll cue that intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show's about to start. Introducing Catchin Up podcast.
I love how we just sit here as if like
like we gotta wait.
As if like we're waiting for what is that? 15 seconds, just about.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool, man. I enjoyed that. Have you finished Dune yet, or are you still letting me down?
I'm still letting you down. I didn't have a
Dang,
single day
bro.
off. I haven't worked.
We know it's always I'm on the grind.
No, I'm gonna. So realistically, I'm probably gonna watch it Friday
Okay.
because I'm off the next 2 days.
Honestly, bro, here's my thing for you. Check and see how much longer, because I know like movies out here probably stay in like IMAX and stuff a little bit longer, just because like there's more theaters. You know, it's more of like a movie town, obviously. So check and see how much longer it's in Dolby or IMAX near you. Because if you can't go see Dune 2 in like one of those two settings, then like, bro, you're missing out like so heavily. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna go to the Dolby theater in because I was gonna watch it last week, but then we ended up doing the double date. So and then by the time the earliest showing after the double date was 10:15 p.m. And then they were all like, it's like a 3-hour movie.
Hey, my first time was at 11:15 p.m. So what you capping on?
Yeah, and I hate that. You know I hate watching movies that late. You get out and you're like, well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm seeing it for the third and final time in theaters tonight with my girlfriend, and I'm going to a 6 p.m. showing. So both of my other times, the first one was 11:15, the second one was like 10:15. And bro, I swear, I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's just a lot of movies coming out this year, but the trailers have been especially long for both times I went to see this movie. Anywhere from like 30 to 35 minutes, and they're usually like 20. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just because it's such a big movie. They're like, let's premiere a lot of trailers. But they've been wild recently. And it's annoying because, I mean, listen, I love seeing trailers, but then you're starting the movie freaking, 30 minutes later than you expected. And it's like, bruh, it's a long movie,
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I would say check. See what's up, because if it's not going to be there next week, you know what I mean? Because I know it's been out. It probably will. I'm sure they'll keep it there for a little bit, but I'd rather you see it there than not see it in like a good format.
No, for sure. Everyone's been talking about it. Like honestly, like everyone's been saying it's a great movie and all that stuff. So, it's just my girlfriend doesn't like watching movies like that. She just falls asleep, and then specifically Dune, she just doesn't like because she hated the first movie. So that one's just been a little harder to fit in my schedule. So she has to be at work when I go watch it.
You're like, I have to take myself on
On a little,
yeah.
little
I mean, it's
solo
definitely
date.
it's not a movie for everybody, but I think just like even if you don't like the story or the characters or whatever, I think the second one, especially just seeing like what they were able to accomplish in terms of filmmaking, is like really, really an outstanding feature. Something that like even if you don't like the movie, like you're like, wow, this is a very cool thing that's happening with film, because it's probably one of the most advanced films in terms of filmmaking that we've had. And I'm excited to like talk about, because I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I'm excited to like, once you see it, we can chat about it and kind of delve more into it. But
Maybe we'll have a emergency recording since we're not gonna
emergency
record
recording
next week.
emergency tsunami. Yeah, I guess next week will be the first time that we'll be taking a week off, right?
Yeah, unless you want to do it like Tuesday.
I won't have time. That's primarily the reason I won't be able to shoot on Wednesdays, because I have something right after work on Tuesday that I'm spending the night at my girl's.
What's your other day off?
Easter Sunday, because we're closed on Easter this year.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the reason I couldn't record on Thursday, because I'm off Wednesday, Thursday.
Sense.
But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be nice though. We can both catch up and on editing or whatever we need to catch up on.
For those of you that know,
yeah,
Vault episode coming soon, and for those of you that don't know, stick around and find out.
How would they know? Have we talked about the Vault episodes on a non-Vault episode?
I don't know.
I don't
That's
know
what
if
I'm
we
saying.
have
If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And most of you probably don't. So stick
if
around.
you're us, you know. If you're not us, you don't know. But you'll know soon enough. No, I'm sure we've touched upon it at some point.
I think we have mentioned it, because I'm like, oh, didn't we say that? And then we're like, oh, that was a Vault episode that we said that on or something.
Yeah, so Tell me a little bit more about Tommy's brand, man. I'm very curious about it. If you know much about it.
I think we should have him on, but no, bro.
We should at some
he
point.
just always wanted to he always wanted to start something. And
Wait, so give a backstory. Who's Tommy to you? You know, for the fans that don't know, you know.
Tommy G. So Tommy and I have been friends since freshman or sophomore year of high school. So just about like 10 years. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
a little bit longer than me and Gabe have been friends. I
Yeah,
would
just
say.
slightly. Well, the thing is, Tyler and I knew each other, but we weren't
Yeah.
friends for like the first like 3 years of us
That's
knowing
true.
each other.
Right.
But Tommy and I. So the way Tommy and I met is he got in trouble. I'm not gonna put his thing out there, but he got in trouble, and he was forced to go to a retreat at church, and we ended up sleeping in the same house because like my grade or like our grades were at one house spending the night. So I forget what I did, but I think I just like made fun of him. So he was like, "What the heck?" And then my friend Josh let him borrow a pair of shorts because I think Tommy didn't bring any shorts, and then like it was me, Josh, and Scott who were friends, and then Tommy didn't have any friends, and then so we were the only ones that like approached him. I don't know if I approached him the best way, but yeah. So and then after that, bro, it was history. Like he just started going to church. We became closer, and then it got to the point that like we were like, if it was the weekend, my mom knew I wasn't gonna be home. I was gonna be at Tommy's house. Like every single weekend, I'd be at his house. His family, love them all. Like ride or dies. They're like the definition of like my second family. You know what I mean? Like I don't put it out there like that because it's a flex or anything like that. But like they bought me my first car. Like not my parents. Like they did.
Mm-hmm.
And just because they're just that type of people. Like they took me on my first cruise. Like they
Right.
when I moved to North Carolina, like that brief little period, like they helped me out a bunch. And then whenever I had to move back, like they were still like loving and accepting, and that's like who Tommy's always been. Like me and him have grown up together. We've been through a lot of stuff. We've had our fun. We've had our anger. We've argued. We've fought. We've giggled. We've planned. Tommy had an era where he was a TikTok star. He hates that. So if you remember Tommy on TikTok, make sure to tell him because he hates
I
it.
do.
Yeah, bro. He was a pretty boy, but then I tried to hop on the trend, but I'm not as pretty, so it didn't work out. But
True.
yeah, so me and Tommy's been there through a lot of stuff. That's actually like my tattoo right here, this anchor. Everything in it like represents someone or something. Basically, yeah, someone that was there for my developmental years that like played a really big role, and the biggest part of it is an anchor, and like the anchor represents God and Tommy. You know what I mean? Just because like Tommy was like there through everything. Tommy knows everything. If you want to get some terrible stuff on me, ask Tyler or Tommy.
If you want to
'cause
get
they
the
know.
tea.
Yeah, but they won't tell you either. That's why I love them. But anyways, so yeah, he's one of my ride or dies for life. We always say that whenever we're old, we're all gonna live in a cul-de-sac together. Yeah,
That'd be
it'll
the vibe, bro.
It'll be me, Tommy, you, Josh Maver, maybe one or two other people. I don't know, but. Yeah, that'd be a sick, right? Cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Just have a cul-de-sac party. Just put like a pool right in the middle. Anyway, so he for a while he's been wanting to start his own thing. He played around with the idea of a brand, like clothing brand, a couple times. We tried to start one in high school. Actually, I remember that it was called No Limits. So we came up with a couple designs, but we never really did anything with it. But yeah, no, this is like it's really cool seeing him actually put his mind and like all his time and energy towards something that he's truly passionate about. And he's like super in love with God, and he's been like really he's been wanting to like spread the word significantly more. And I know that's something that he's been taking a lot more seriously recently. And so like that's what his whole brand is about spreading the word. The name of the brand is Tell the Nations. So it's
Okay,
like,
close,
spreading the word.
Well, I'm curious. Is he the one drawing, like making the designs, or? Because when you originally posted it, I was like, man, that's like a really good design. Is that just something that he like is a part of? Is it something he's like a brand ambassador of, or something maybe he's just representing like this clothing brand he really likes? But then I asked you, and you're like, yeah, no, that's his brand, and I was like, wow, those are like really cool designs. Because like I play around with like logo making and stuff for the podcast and stuff, and it's not easy. I mean, it's a lot less difficult nowadays because there are so many features on these apps, and designing is a lot easier. But even still, I mean, those are really, really like clean, nice, detailed designs. So I was just
It's
like,
a
it's
little bit
really
of
cool.
both. He buys it. He buys some that he'll find off like Instagram, or he'll
Yeah.
reach out to artists and like give them an idea. And then some of them he does draw and like come up with. So it's a little
That's
bit
really
of a
cool.
mixture, which I think is I think it's I think that's the smartest mentality he could have had, because I know a lot of people will stunt their growth because they like want it to be all them. And instead
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
reaching
for sure.
out to like someone else that might do it better or have a different idea and stuff like that, they're like, oh no, I have to do the drawing. I have to
Yeah.
come up with the idea from everything. And sometimes that doesn't always work. And like that's not how like a lot of things work nowadays. It
Yeah.
requires a team. And when you don't have a team, you gotta outsource. And I respect him a lot for outsourcing a lot of stuff. And he's been trying so many different brands, like shirt, like clothing material,
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
factories, manufacturers and stuff like that. But yeah, man, he's on the come up. He's always sending me stuff like, "What do you think about this?" or "How about this?" and stuff like that. And he, if you listen to our last episode, we were saying how you always have those like select few people that you value their opinion and then do with it what you want. So like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
part of that list. Like I'm not the only one he sends it to, but he'll send it to a couple people, hear what we have to say because he cares about our opinion, and then he goes and does it. But man, it's cool, there are things that he showed me that I'm like, that's not my cup of tea, but like it's still
Sure.
cool. Like I understand why you're doing it because
Right.
like I'm not the only one buying your stuff. You got to appeal to
Yeah.
a bunch of people, and I think
Yeah.
that's another thing that he's doing really well is that he's not like making it too niche. He's making it niche in the sense of it being like a Christian brand, and I guess that's niche. But other than that, like when it comes to like the clothes themselves, like they look sick, like they look so
Yeah.
cool, and
Yeah.
they're very different. I actually just ordered Delaney and I just ordered a shirt. I think it's coming in 2 days, so I'm excited. Yeah, bro. But yeah, go check it out. It's on Instagram. It's called Tell the Nations. I think it's CO.
Yeah, we can do we can obviously shout them out on the podcast page too.
Yeah.
I mean, only 5 of our followers will probably respond, but that's something.
Of course. But follow my boy Tommy's brand. It's Tell the Nations CO for company.
Yeah, I would
or,
say
or
just
co.
whenever you make this, you could just.
It's
drop
right
it
here.
there. Yeah. But I think that's really cool what you were saying about how it's. I feel like that's the hardest thing when making a brand is like, okay, how do I go about it? Because like you said, he's not just trying. It's not your style, right? Some of it, right, and some of it is. It's like, how do you go about it? Do you go about it in the sense of like, okay, I'm gonna make what I like, and whoever else likes it in terms of fit, in terms of designs, logos, different textures. Like obviously, like for me personally, I like a thicker, oversized tee, but that might not be what a lot of people like. So like, do you make both, or do you just make the one, or do you, it's always interesting to me to see, how different brands, some of them incorporate all different types of styles, and some of them just are like, no, this is what we're doing. This is gonna be our specific niche of like what people like, and obviously, if trends change or their personal opinions change, they'll change it. But I think that would be the hardest thing to figure out, because also it costs money to do different things. And if you want to make one tee, if you have one logo, but you want to put it on 3 different types of tees, then obviously you're buying those 3 different types of tees as opposed to just one. So that's really interesting. There's got to be some, a hard thought process that goes into it. Hopefully one day that we have to deal with. Because eventually, we'd like to have our tees with our little logos or something like that. So.
Hey, it'd be cool if we had a collab too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I want to start playing around with different, because obviously I would like to have a T-shirt with just our logo on it, but also I would like to play around with some different designs and see how that would come out. But it's obviously just getting the podcast up and running first, and creating social media posts and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully one day, man, I would love to have a couple shirts representing us and stuff like that. It's always been a dream of mine to do something with clothes, so that would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I've always wanted to do that. But I think what I think was the coolest thing for me to see, because also you guys need to listen to all our episodes in order, because I'm already making a reference to last episode again. Like we were talking about how we can see our supporters and stuff like that through social media based off what we do. This being our second podcast that we were doing, like we didn't really get many supporters, you know what I mean? It was really just like us promoting ourselves. Yeah. Like I didn't really see anyone repost our stuff or shout us out or anything like that, which is okay. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. All right. But it's really cool seeing like one of my best friends make something and have so many people support him. Yeah. Like I don't know if you looked at his Instagram or like the account's Instagram, but like there was literally like 30 different people that like reposted the first 2 posts that he made just because they're supporting him, which is so cool. It's like it's sad to see that like we never get anything like remotely like that, but it's cool seeing that people do. And people that we care about and that we do want to see succeed do, because at the end of the day, they deserve it, So that was really cool too. It's like seeing like all the love that he was getting, because that's nerve-wracking, bro. Especially that first post, like you don't know what it's gonna be. You said, you have to buy the. Of course, some people have it different with their manufacturers. Some of them are made to order. Some of them are not. I don't know how he does that. But either way, it's still nerve-wracking. You still got to put money down on certain shirts, certain amount of sizes. If you got multiple designs, you got to figure out which one you want to buy more of, or if you're just going to buy all the same and just hope for the best and stuff like that, right? Until you get some analytics in there.
Yeah, of course.
And then, yeah, bro, so it was really cool. And I think he already sold out of like the larges and the extra larges of one shirt. Like the first like 2 days that it was up, so he was doing a giveaway. Yeah, it was cool, bro. It's really awesome seeing him. Yeah, at least have a really good start. You know what I mean? And I think it's gonna continue to blow up and keep going. And he already told us like he wants to eventually get us some stuff so we can wear it on the podcast and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro. I think it's gonna be sick. I'm so excited to see what he can do. And his girlfriend's like a professional photographer too, so like their advertising is gonna be sick.
Media on deck, bro.
Bro, for real.
That's really. I think that's probably one of the most helpful things, because I'm like, social media marketing nowadays is the biggest thing for your brand, bro. Like, if you don't have a social media presence as a brand, I don't really think there's any room for you to exist anymore. I'm like, that's where everything is at. And like, obviously that's where people spread. That's the new word of mouth, in my opinion, is like people reposting on their stories or their Instagram, because then it can take you directly to their page. And now you have more people seeing your page, seeing all your different designs, seeing all the different things you're doing, giveaways, etc. And it's just, you're able to create that community so much faster nowadays that I think it's just, it's really cool, man. And it's definitely the new wave of how people find out about things. So I'm like, that's really dope, man. And the more people can share it, so hopefully, if you're still listening this far into the episodes, which you should, because it's only been like, I don't know how
32
long
minutes.
it's been, but come on now, you can make it at least halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
Shout out, go check out the page. Speaking of social media and
Oh, also, I'll put it in the comments too, because if we get a code that gets you a discount, it'll be in the description. Because
Yeah.
we might be able to get that working.
Okay, I mean, listen, whatever strings you can pull, because you have the connects. Let me know.
You can text him too. You also have his number.
And I'll just sit back and relax.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let you do it all. No, but I had this thought watching the movie I was telling you about earlier last night, because, like I said, it was set in the 80s and they're working at a carnival. Like, it's just these teens working a summer job or whatever. But it was really cool to see, because obviously they didn't have phones back then, and, social media obviously wasn't a thing. So, like, when they went to work, like, that's all they had. Like, they were just there. You didn't have, like, your phone to distract you. I mean, even if you can't use your phone at work, when you go to the bathroom or whatever, you take a break, you look at your social media, like, but when you went to a job back in the day, whatever job it was, like, you really just had to be there for the 7-8 hours, and, like, you didn't have anything to really distract you. And I just found that really, really interesting, because it's like, I feel like nowadays we rely on, our phone so much to provide us entertainment, to distract us, to kind of get us out of the boring times at work or whatever, if there's like slow times or down times. And it's just really interesting to be like, man, I wonder how. I mean, I guess they weren't accustomed to that, because I was like, that just kind of also showed me how much we like are relying on social media to provide us with those easy, quick distractions. Because, like, think about it. Obviously, back then it probably was a lot more boring, but also they weren't used to having all this entertainment and all this short form content all the time. So for them, it was just like, I'm sure people were able to obviously just think about more things and experience more things, because you really just had to be there in the moment. Versus nowadays, like, 90% of the time, you don't have to be present if you choose not to be, because you just have your phone right there,
Bro, that's the perfect transition, because I wanted to bring up what you thought about this potential band on TikTok. Because I was talking to Manny about it, actually. And I don't know, bro.
Hey, shouts,
if
Manny.
it gets,
You know what it is.
yeah, Manny. But it's crazy. But, like, okay, if it gets banned, I'm very curious as to how us as a society is going to react, because it's very much so just the government that wants it gone. Like, for the most part, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you get your people here and there that are like, yeah, I should get banned and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. As a society, we all enjoy TikTok. We all like TikTok.
Right.
We don't want it to go away. I don't think it's going to be received as well as Vine, because Vine got bought out and then that company got rid of the app, right? So that's
Vine just kind of died out.
that's one thing. But TikTok, that's not like, oh, we're just getting rid of it. No, that's the government saying you're not allowed to use this anymore. And people have a big problem with one, not like being told that they can and cannot use something, let alone the government, when it's for not really any, like, at least from what I'm aware, is any good reason. You know what I mean? So I'm very interested personally. I think society's going to get pissed. I don't know how long they're going to get pissed, but I think they're going to have really big problems with that. But if it does get banned, I'm also very curious to see how it's going to change us as a society, because I know personally I waste a lot of time on TikTok, but I don't think it's going to make as big of an impact as everyone thinks it is, because I get people sending me TikToks on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook now too. So it's like it's almost like all these other apps were trying to replace it. So if it got deleted, it wouldn't really matter.
Okay, one, I think, basically what the government is saying is the reason they want to ban it is because I guess they're saying China is stealing our information or is like spying on us through TikTok. And I'm like, one, there are so many other apps and shops like Temu, and I'm sure Facebook keeps our information. But I mean, I know it's not owned by China, but there's so many different apps and internet websites and everything where your information is out there. So I'm like, if somebody wants your information, trust they will have it. It's not just coming from TikTok. So I do think that that's a little bit of a crazy reasoning because I'm like, come on, we're in the age of the internet. Hackers are everywhere. If people want your information, they'll have your information. It's not. I really don't think it's that hard for people to get nowadays. And I think also it's because TikTok doesn't censor as much as some of these other apps do. Like Instagram, for example, there's so many things you can't post on Instagram that like you can post on TikTok. So I think there's a little bit of censorship trying to be. They're trying to censor what can be put out there, from political stuff to other things, and people exposing things on TikTok or whatever. So I think there is a level of that for sure. But I do agree with you in the sense that, like, yeah, bro, if they do end up banning it, like, there are so many other apps that are adaptable to short form, such as YouTube Shorts, such as Instagram Reels. And, like, yes, TikTok might be more popular than those, but if TikTok's not there, people will navigate to those. Or somebody will make another app. Somebody will make an app that is similar to TikTok, and whether that's an American company so that it's allowed to stay is a thing, then yeah. But I think somebody will end up making an app that's very similar, and people will just hop on that. And maybe that could be a good thing because we could be one of the first creators on there. So I'll take the first access. But I'm like, we're in this day and age where one thing's out, the other's in. So I don't think it would be anything super crazy. I mean, like I said, I know how popular TikTok is. I love it. I think it definitely has its pros and cons for sure. Like, there's no doubt about that. But banning it, I'm just like, then how do you think how is anything else safe from being banned in the future? Because if you allow this, then like now all these other apps have the potential to be banned too because the government doesn't like what they're doing, or the government doesn't like what information is getting out there on it. So it's just like, I don't know. I do feel like it's wrong to do that. And I really do think it is a censorship. And I really do think it is a censorship. Oh my God, I can't say that word. Censorship. You guys get a grammar lesson with me today. I really do think it is a censorship issue at hand, and that's the main thing. And they're kind of using the information thing to, bypass that and make it not look like that. But I think that is ultimately the biggest issue at hand. So I don't know, man. I think it'd be crazy. It'd be really interesting. It'd be weird to see it gone just like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it would be crazy. I think that'd be the first app that was like ever really popular that got banned, Because usually I feel like if apps get banned, yeah, it's more so like, it wasn't ever that big at first. But I'm like, if that's not allowed because of information, how is Temu allowed? You think Temu, you know what I mean? Like, Temu's as sketch as it gets, like, you know what I mean? And like, that's allowed, or like Panda Buy and all these other apps are allowed, but TikTok's not. Like, it doesn't really.
Yeah,
make sense.
I think the information thing is a little BS, just because, bro. There's so many, like, there's this one hacker that like likes to just expose a lot of stuff because like he's like, I think the public should be aware of like what's actually capable.
Yeah.
Because it's not funny like how easy it is to like hack things and like break into places without even being detected, right? So he always does that, and he was saying that he like ran this test to see if there was like any potential breaches in his house, and he has this vacuum mop. Like it's a vacuum, but it's also a mop. It was something like that. Whatever. It was a really nice vacuum, and there was a computer chip that connected to the Wi-Fi in it from China. You know what I mean? It's like, why is there a computer chip in a vacuum?
That's what I'm saying. It's like half the products that are made in China, like if they really wanted to spy on us or gain information, there are other ways aside of TikTok. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I think, listen, is it a potential threat? Probably. But at the same time, so is half the other things that you don't care about. So, like, you know, I'm like, there are ways, man. And I'm like, that's just the biggest issue I have with things being banned in general, because I'm like, people will find a way. There's too much information. There's too much technology nowadays for anything to be banned and people not find a way to get it. If somebody wants something, there's a way to get it. And it's not just through one source. There's multiple sources, multiple ways that people can do whatever they want. So yeah, I think it's a little ridiculous, but you know, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. We're up on all other platforms, so you know, it ain't no thing to us. You know, we're
I think
locking down
our
Instagram.
TikTok's actually what's lacking the most now. So
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, the reels. I feel like the reels and TikTok are definitely on par. We've actually been getting the most views on shorts, I would say, or the most consistent views.
Yeah.
On shorts so far, and actually like the shorts, because do you have YouTube Studio, the app? Yeah. It like shows like what ranking this video is out of all your videos and like the percentage, and like it's really good metrics on there. So I'm like, shorts is actually becoming like a really, really like up and coming app, like especially in terms of for the creator. You know, I don't know what their creator fund looks like or how their payout is, because we're not like at that level yet, obviously. But I'm curious to see like how different all of these are. You know, because I know they're all different to a degree.
Yeah, and they also show like recommended topics and like things people are Google searching or looking up a lot. Like it helps you out a lot more, or like it tries to give you guidance on how to succeed too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, bro. But I just find it. I think the thing that really sucks the most about TikTok nowadays is how it's basically, it's like a sales platform, bro. I even saw a video the other day, and this girl, she was like talking about how, like, there's this thing you can look up in the search bar and it'll tell you like what's trending on TikTok so that you can make your videos tailored to it and get more views. And it was like all about selling stuff. And I'm like, bro, why is this like a thing? Basically, like, TikTok is a place for people to either go on live and battle and make money, or like just talking smack to each other, or yeah, you're selling stuff. And I'm like, this is crazy, bro. Like, I get it. Like, eventually, I mean, I feel like all platforms, you know, Instagram has done it to a degree, but I feel like with Reels, I don't get as much selling stuff. But literally, bro, I'm like, TikTok is almost the equivalent of like QVC back in the day. You know what that is?
No, I'm not.
It was like on like cable TV where like it was like this channel where they would just be like selling purses or selling jewelry, but it's just like showcasing things and you can call in and purchase it. I'm like, that's basically what TikTok lives are. There's people on there, hey, go to this link, buy this product. And
I actually have seen a couple lives just like that.
Bro, there's
where they're like, look at this purse,
nowadays.
this is or like, look at this knickknack. You use it like this, use it like this.
Literally the modern day QVC, except there's so many different like items now. It's not just like jewelry or purses or whatever. You can buy literally anything you want. I see a multitude of everything. But I'm just like, literally TikTok is almost a business now. It's not even like posting for fun. And like people like us who post things for fun or are posting a podcast or posting these different shorts, like, since we're not selling anything, I feel like we're just not pushed to the masses anymore. And it's crazy, bro. It's just such a weird thing to experience because we've been on TikTok for a few years now, you know, with the old podcast and now this. And it was just, I feel like back in the day, like, there was none of that. It was just people posting original content, whatever that was, dancing, singing, podcasting, personal stories, whatever. But nowadays, it's like 90% selling stuff, 10% people making original content. I'm just like, man, it's so watered down with it. It's just not even really fun anymore. I don't even like check it's not even exciting for me to go and check our TikTok page anymore because I'm like, it's like I know what's trending, I know what's hot, and like obviously we're not going to cater to that. But it's just like, dang, man, it's sad to see like that's where it's also gone.
It's funny. I was actually thinking about this yesterday that I don't get the same. I sound like an addict. I don't get the same dopamine rush as I used to on TikTok because it's all been boring. Like it's just
Yeah.
like it'll be like someone just being like, "Oh my god, my day this and that," and I'm just like, "Okay, yeah, me too, huh?" And then like scroll, or it's like, "Look at this brand new shirt that fits and dries and doesn't wrinkle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Use my link in the bio." Or like I'll start like it pisses me off because like it'll start as like a normal good video, and then like halfway through the video you realize this is all to like talk about this one product that you can buy on their
Yes,
TikTok
yeah,
shop, and then
yeah.
I'm like, whatever, bro. Like I get what
Yeah.
you're doing, I respect it, but I'm like, bro, it's like every video. It's like Instagram. I see more posts of accounts I do not follow than the accounts I do follow.
Literally, bro. I'm like well, and also that brings up a funny point too because I saw this video where on TikTok where people were like, it's really not even fun to post on Instagram anymore because it's become, I feel like in a different sense where TikTok is like very outright, like just trying to sell you things. Instagram is like, people always either showing things off or promoting themselves or promoting their business. And like, I get it, right? Like it's we're in a social media era and so many people are creators or trying to be creators and trying to showcase their lifestyles and like have that be their job. But it just feels like, I don't know, it feels so almost like not genuine to post on Instagram anymore, bro. And if you notice, like a lot of people don't. One, because the algorithm is just crazy. I really miss chronological posting, or like
Me
viewing,
too.
like when you just saw when it was posted, because then you could see more people's stuff. But like you said, like you rarely ever see your friends' stuff, even if they post. And I think
Did you know that
too-
there's a follow tab?
Oh, like who you follow? No, I didn't.
My girlfriend just showed me yesterday. She's like, because I was complaining about it, and she's like, "Well, I'll go to the top right corner where it says Instagram. If you click that, you can click following, and then it's only shows people you follow and what they
Oh,
post."
interesting. But the thing too is like I mean I follow a lot of like it's almost like
Oh yeah, I didn't realize how many meme pages I followed.
yeah, I'm like I think that's also it too, bros. Like instead of Instagram becoming this place where what it originally was, where people go to catch up and like see what their friends were up to, it's almost just like a news outlet nowadays, bro. Like that's where I go to get updated on like, what fights are coming up or what NBA games are coming up or who won the game or, what new movies are coming out, what people think of movies and reviews and stuff. I'm like, it's not even about catching up with your friends anymore or like seeing what they're up to. It's more so like news and promotion. And so I feel like, I don't know about you, but like I definitely don't post as much as I used to, and I feel like a lot of people
bro, I
don't
haven't
in
made a
general.
post in so long.
Because it's just like you make a post and like I don't know, you just feel like it's not even gonna get seen by your friends or whatever, and you're just like, it's hard. Like, what do I post nowadays that can feel genuine?
Yeah.
So
Or
it's just
what's
such a
worth
weird
posting?
thing,
Because
man.
I feel like
Yeah,
there's also
yeah.
that aspect of like, is this good enough to post?
Yeah, it's weird, bro. It's just such a different thing. And I feel like, no matter what happens, if they create another app or something that's for that, eventually, as we've seen with every single app, it always leads to promotion or selling or this or that. And like, it kind of sucks, man. I wish we still had an app that people didn't care to do that on. It was just like, hey, this is where you catch up with people, show support, on people's lives instead of it being like their brand almost. But it is for everybody. Like even on the personal stuff you post, like if you're going to get a job or something, like they can check out your IG now. So if they don't align with your views or certain things, then it might sidetrack you from getting the job. So it's just such a weird
That's
thing, bro. But
crazy to me. The fact that like your job can just look at your social media and that's like really a part of, which like I understand because they got to know who they're hiring, but that's kind of
Sure, sure.
crazy.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, man. It was definitely a lot simpler back in the day, that's for sure. But I don't know, man. I'm curious to see, where it all goes, especially if TikTok does get banned. Like, do other apps, start to does one app revive? Does these other apps
I
start
think we
going
should
more
just
towards
start
the
working
selling
on
or
our
what?
own version of TikTok. We'll call it TikTok.
Tic Tac. Or I mean, you never know. I mean, I know they were saying that like the way they wouldn't ban it if everything passes through is if like somebody bought it. So maybe Elon Musk scoops it up like he did with X.
Yeah, but did you see how like he lost so much money because like the value of X went like.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, I don't know. I've never been like a big Twitter person, so
me neither.
I never understood Twitter, bro. I'm like, it just never made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can get
Too
all the
much
same
is
thing
going on, but
Instagram.
also like nothing at all. So I'm always like,
I feel like it's just it's the drama social media app. Like, of course, on Instagram and TikTok you have drama as well, but Twitter is just like people talking smack or like people like going back and forth and arguing. And like, of course, like I said, it is like that on every app. But I feel like Twitter is almost specifically for that. It's I don't know. It just never picked up for me.
I don't know, bro. All I know is that it's either gonna be a riot or we're all about to get smarter because we're not scrolling for as many hours.
True, true. I mean, I guess time will tell.
Unfortunately, are you voting for Kanye this year? I want to know what happened to that. Like, I thought he was gonna run for 2024.
Bro, he's all over the place. He's 1 minute running to run for president, 1 minute wanting to revive his shoe company, 1 minute trying to release albums and do listening parties, and I don't know.
It's the clone, bro. It's a bad clone.
He's going crazy, bro. Yeah, it's the bad clone. No, I think that's wild, but I'm like, man, it is.
Oh, you don't think
weird.
clones are real?
No.
No.
Not yet. I don't think I'm not. And with humans, I think that it's very possible with like animals and stuff to a degree. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think with humans yet, bro. Like especially with mannerisms and all that. Like because I'm like, even if you made a clone of somebody, like I feel like that doesn't mean they'd be able to do the same things.
But as an actor,
know?
don't you think that's kind of like Austin Butler, for example? It took 2 years, and he got like mannerisms down. Like when you study a character, or a person, and you're trying to play him as a role. Like you like embody them, which is different than a clone for sure. I understand that, but like the guy that did the Bob Marley documentary series, like he like watched hours of his interviews, his mannerism. He spoke directly to his family and asked questions of what he meant, how he said, how he walked, how he acted. Same with like Austin Butler and stuff like that. And then now you got Michael Jackson's documentary movie thing coming up, and it's his nephew or something like that. And
biopic?
Biopic. That's what it's called. But it's like they pick it up. So it's like if they make a clone, which I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying I feel like that wouldn't be the reason I wouldn't believe it.
I wasn't saying in terms of mannerisms and stuff. I'm saying
I think you were.
I don't think that like let's say they make a Kanye clone. He can get the Kanye mannerisms down, and he can get the way he walks, the way he talks. But is he gonna actually be able to rap and produce like Kanye West does? I feel like that only comes from Kanye West's brain. Like
but I feel like with AI now, that is it really?
I mean, yeah, but you can. AI is not that advanced to where you can't tell something's fake yet.
I mean, did you listen to his new album?
Yeah.
I did not think it sounded like him for half the songs.
Hold on.
Like personally, like I was listening to the album and I was like, this doesn't like to me. Granted, I'm not the biggest Kanye listener, so I'm not saying like my opinion is super valid or has a lot of weight here. But from what I am aware of, like I was like, this isn't And like maybe he's just changing with the times. I don't know. But like I listened to it and I was like, it just feels off. Like his voice sounds a little weird. There was only like 2 songs that I was like, oh yeah, that's Kanye.
I think that it's just a different style of music, bro. It's more so like a party album, I think. And I mean his lyrics are just like not there. They're not good at all. But my thing is too is like I personally like I haven't really liked a lot of I'm not saying I didn't like them. I like his albums, but in terms of like if you go to like I'm a big person who's like I love Kanye's early catalog. I'm not the biggest fan of his later catalog. But some people are like that with Drake. Some people are like that with Eminem.
No, for sure. And to each
so
their
I just
own.
think that, and if you listen to certain tracks, like you can hear, like he still has it, like Burn, great track, amazing, really showing signs of like the old Kanye or whatever that is.
What track?
Burn.
On Future's album?
No, on Kanye's.
Oh, bro, I'm thinking of his feature on Future's album where it was also Burn, and like that was a sick feature.
Oh yeah, no, not that one. But even like I mean, Kanye said like he's always like DMing fans nowadays, and he's like, "What do you mean old? Yeah, that guy doesn't exist." Like so like it's just he has gotten to this point, and like it's not. I feel like this every artist, they get to this point and like they're just not rapping about the same things, bro. It's like what people get mad about Drake because like back in the day he was rapping about the come up and like, grinding with his homies and like making it to the top and people are like, wow, it's so inspirational. And I'm like, yeah, and it's great for that time, but like why would he have any reason to rap about that nowadays? He's not living that life. That was his life back then. And he's very good at rapping about his current life status. I think that's one of Drake's best assets is that he's very, like, he's able to really communicate how he's feeling and the type of lifestyle he's living through his music. And he's just not living that lifestyle anymore. So I think it's the same thing with Kanye. Like, he raps about his kids and he raps about his famous problems and, like, all these things. But, like, there's not a lot of, at least in this new album, too much substance. Except for songs like "Problematic," he really kind of delves a little bit deeper into certain aspects of some of the issues that he's faced. But I don't know. I don't think clones are a thing just yet. I mean, listen, is it possible in the future? I definitely think it will be. But to create a whole nother human, I think it would be easier to find somebody who looks like him and then prosthetically like change the things that don't to make him look even more, because I'm like, bro, cloning a whole human, I don't know, that's kind of crazy.
Bro, I mean,
I don't know.
They're already like in process of making babies in labs. You think they haven't
but that's cross. That's like a cross breed, like gendering type of, or breeding or whatever it is. Like they're just like you're able to, like I guess. See if you would be like create certain genetics or like I don't know how it is, but it's not like they're not like lasering a baby out of the sky. You know what I mean?
No, I mean I didn't say they were. I'm not saying they're 3D printing babies. Like that's not what I'm saying.
But isn't that what a clone would be?
No, a clone would be like you get the DNA and then you regrow. Like, have you never seen like Johnny Test?
But they would have had to been growing him for how long, bro? Why would they want to clone him when he wasn't even famous?
I think they start cloning you once you get to a certain rank.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, let's say that was, like, when Kanye was popping in his early 20s. I don't know how old he is now. Let's say he's 40. You would still only have a 20-year-old baby if you cloned him at that exact moment.
That's
like,
assuming, okay, if you can create a human in a lab, I'm pretty sure you can age him faster.
I mean,
but okay,
I guess, but
then let's work with the theory of finding someone that looks like him and then prosthetically and cosmetically changing them, right?
Okay,
that's still a version of like in a way still cloning him or anyone.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Of course, but I don't think that I don't think it's.
No, you don't think that like there's like a lab full of like different Kanyes in tubes floating.
I think you're a conspiracy theorist and you're threatening this nation.
I think this podcast is done.
That's what people probably thought about us when we did conspiracy theories all the time. Like, these guys are
That were
whack
threatening the
jobs.
nation.
These guys are crazy, bro. I mean, the way some people came for us for some of the stuff, bro, like, it'd be the dumbest conspiracy theory. And people would be like, you guys are crazy. You're terrible. I can't believe you'd say this. And we're like, bro, it's literally just like, we're just saying this for fun to see who believes it and who doesn't. It's not that big of a deal.
Bro, my favorite one, I was actually talking about this like last week with my friends. I was like, the one conspiracy theory that I do truly believe is that Helen Keller one, man. There's no way. There's no way. Let me know. Does this make sense? I'll give you the rapid version and then we can wrap this episode up because we're past an hour. But look, there is no way you can tell me that Helen Keller did everything she did. I looked it up. I don't remember. This was a long time ago, so I don't remember like the exact little details. But when she lost her hearing and her sight, she was so young that the only words she would have known, if she knew any, were like "mama," "dada," like baby's first words type beat. You know what I mean? Like didn't know anything like that. And okay, I understand how they taught her because when you're blind, you'll put something, in their hand or you'll teach them braille, but they can still hear what you're saying. So then you'll be like, oh, like these dots is the word cat. And then you put a cat in their hand. Okay, this is what a cat is. This is what a cat feels like, sounds like, smells like. For sure, makes total sense. When you're deaf, the opposite, right? They see it, and then you teach them by like writing things down and signing and things like that, right? You show them a picture of a cat, you sign a cat. You show them the letter, and then you sign the letter. Whatever. If I'm wrong in certain areas, I'm sorry. I'm not an expert on that. But I do know that it doesn't make sense on how you teach someone that's deaf and blind anything like that. What are you going to do? Put a cat in their lap? They can't hear you, and they can't see the cat. What are you going to say? And I get they wrote it out on her hand. Like they'd put CAT. One, I don't understand how she would make that association. I wouldn't. I'm not that smart. And two, okay, cool. Let's say all that works out perfect, right? You put a cat on her lap. Oh, this is what water feels like. You teach her how to spell the word water. Now she knows the word water and she knows what water is. You drink water, you swim water, whatever, right? How do you teach the word and? How do you teach the word or? How do you teach the word the? You know what I mean? Those are not tangible things at all. So it's like, it's one thing if she said cat, maybe the word jump and water. But you're not going to teach her the cat jumped into the water. There is no way.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's a very plausible theory. I really don't know much about her story other than obviously that she was deaf and blind and wrote the books.
Yeah, she wrote like a couple books, and don't quote me on this one, but I believe she flew a plane at one point, which doesn't make sense either.
That would be crazy. That would be if she.
I don't think she did it by herself.
That? Yeah,
which was that would be fine with me. Yeah, I will say yeah, she flew a plane, but like, there's no way you wrote a book. Like, there's no way.
I don't know, man. That is interesting. I don't know. I'll have to look into that a bit more because I am curious about that. But drop your comments down below on if you agree with Gabe or if you disagree with him. Let him have it. Just rip him to shreds.
Rip me apart. Cancel culture.
All right, cool. Well, I think we'll cap off the episode with that one.
Yep, we did forget to rate our coffees. Mine's from Juan Valdez. It's a latte with dulce de leche and honey. Honestly, it was a little too sweet, but it was very on the caffeine side, very strong. So if you like super sweet and caffeinated, 10 out of 10. If you don't like super sweet, it was probably like a 7.
I feel like Juan Valdez is really good at like their strength of their coffee.
Yes. If you go in there and be like, just give me the strongest thing you got, you'll be like.
I got mine from this new spot. It's called Undergrind. I found it. It's like literally a minute from my house.
I thought you were going to say underground.
Underground. No, Undergrind Cafe. It is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Latte, iced. And it was actually really good. But it tastes like like, let's say you had Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast and, like, the milk flavor afterwards, it kind of tastes like that, which is good, but I didn't really get a lot of the coffee from it, which I would have liked a little bit more. But if you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like, you will absolutely love this thing. They have a bunch of different flavors, so I'm curious to try some other ones. But it's like a really good, nice, refreshing blend. So I would give this like an 8 out of 10. If you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch a lot, which, like, I like it, but, like, for coffee, I most of the time prefer, like, mocha or caramel, but I just want to try something different. So if you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, especially, like, or that flavor, cinnamon coffee, this will probably be a 10 out of 10 for you. But for me, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was good. It was very solid. So, yeah, I recommend checking it out.
And if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, on our TikTok, on our Instagram, our YouTube. If you're listening, make sure to click that follow button so you get reminded whenever we post a new episode. Leave a 5-star review. Make sure you like and comment and share with a friend and ask them if they agree or disagree with the Helen Keller theory.
Yeah, let us know all your thoughts on these topics we covered today.
And what you think about TikTok being
Headphones.
banned.
Yeah, TikTok being banned. You know, the whole spiel. Just let us know. And, you know, maybe we'll have a little conversation in the comments. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
And make sure to follow Tell the Nations Co. on Instagram.
Yes, definitely. We'll definitely have some guests on in the future. So hopefully Tommy is one of them, so you can chat a bit more about it. But, yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.